All right, Happy New Year, everybody, from the Hat Creek Interior Studios. Welcome into Raiderland Rewind, and that's right, Happy New Year, even with the outcome. Not what Texas Tech fans wanted at all. Not what anybody could have really, I think, foreseen. Even though Texas Tech finished off this morning going off as a 1 point favorite when all the betting was done. It was not to be, as Oregon smothers Texas Tech's offense, kicks them to the curb in the Orange Bowl in the quarterfinals of the college football playoffs, 23-0. So we'll give you our thoughts on the game today. We want to hear from you on the United Supermarkets chat line on the Raiderland Rewind, presented by Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock. It is 2026. It's time to start your new year right. You need to talk to John Skelton and his great staff. Guys, we're going to be focusing on a couple of things this year. Gut health for all of us. Our guts are going to be better. And diabetes prevention and, yes, reversal. Looking at those things specifically with our friends right there at Live Life Well Clinic. They do so much more. Check out their website or their Facebook page. Dr. John Skelton, great Red Raider. And we thank him for being the presenting sponsor of Raiderland Rewind all season long, a season that saw the bar raised, expectations elevated inside and outside the program, and that'll continue into next season. So we're going to be visiting with you guys. Get your thoughts. There was plenty of good. There was, unfortunately, plenty of bad and a whole lot of ugly when it came to the Texas Tech offense and some special teams miscues as well. So we'll run through all that, but we'll give you our thoughts as you get in on that United Supermarket chat line, the one supermarket that takes care of things in West Texas, puts their name on things at Texas Tech, as opposed to one here in the Hubaplex that takes your money and sends it down to Austin. All right, let's do it. In 3, in 2. Good afternoon, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. You start your day every day. Usually we got your Raiderland hot links brought to you by Jackson Brothers Meat Locker down in Post, Texas. Obviously a little bit different today on a Thursday, New Year's Day, Orange Bowl game coverage and everything else. But we'll be back with you again with our morning column tomorrow, Friday enough. We're going to recap the week and everything else. But yeah, you are in the Hat Creek Interior Studios, hatcreek.us if you're outside Lubbock. If you're in the Hubaplex, 10101 South Slide Road, check it out. Corey Flanagan and his crew, the best Western wear style furniture, not just in West Texas, not just between like Dallas and Denver, but I mean coast to coast in the country. And we thank the great people at Hat Creek Interiors for being a huge part of everything we do. And Raiderland, if you've never dropped by the showroom, drop by and tell them we said hey. And then again, if you're outside the loop, or beyond the 289, it's hatcreek.us. They ship to you anywhere in the country. Texas Tech falls 23-0. They won the toss, deferred. Defense got the stop there, finally finished off that little drive early on, and you're sitting there thinking, okay, hanging in there, 3-0. And then the first series of the offense, and I don't know that I'm looking back through any sort of Orange Bowl tinted glasses right now. Something didn't seem right in that first 3 and out by the Tech offense. Just something didn't seem right at all. And it never got right. And it never got right today. Was the defense worthy of the big stage? Absolutely. Are they national championship caliber? Yes, they proved that today. There was nothing more the defense could do today. It was reminiscent of that Arizona State game when they were on the field all day long and we'll throw out the garbage time touchdown and everything else. They proved that they were every bit as good as anybody that'll play defense in the college football playoffs this year. And I think Texas Tech can and should hang their hat on that. And I think it validates an entire season's worth of accolades for that side of the ball. On the other side, just an absolute colossal no-show at the showdown. Nothing there. Nothing at all. The offensive line was abused from the get-go. Morton looked lost. Baron Morton just absolutely looked lost to the point where I still wonder if he was healthy enough maybe to be out there for most of that game, not stepping into throws, errant all over the place. The running backs minus the one run by Williams, and that was a busted-up play that he turned nothing into. He turned a TFL into a 50-yard gain for you because he's just that good. But, I mean, in the first half, Cameron Dickey, he looked drunk. Running into offensive line, did not look like the same running back we have seen rush for 1,000 yards. I don't know what to say about the receivers because you couldn't hardly get on the ball, right? I mean, you really just hardly could not get on the ball. So you get the Spike Dykes buzzard puke Offensive No-Show of the Year award. Did the layoff hurt this team? That's going to be one of the big discussion points as we see now teams again last night. Another case in point is Miami gets the upset, and they advance over Ohio State, and now another team with a bye falls in Texas Tech. I don't know. Now, did we have warning signs that this would be like Tech can't score? No. But the problems that Texas Tech had today are the problems that they've had all year long on the offensive side of the ball. Inconsistent, poor play by the offensive line, in my opinion. Changes need to be made. Cody Campbell has to say, I will again. Play calling that just mystified me at times. And how can you say that about an offense that racked up the kind of yards that they did this year and all the stats and everything? Well, if you have been any connoisseur of our broadcast here in Raiderland, you know I've been fairly consistent in my thoughts on this offense this year. And that didn't change today. So where are we on that? And then finally, as we get ready to move into your questions, comments, and everything else, the Big 12 haters will rejoice. The Big 12 haters will line up and say, see, we told you so. And that may be one of the most frustrating things about this, if you're a Texas Tech fan, that all the Big 12 haters are going to come back and say, see, league wasn't any good. Here's your best team. Couldn't score a point. Couldn't score a freaking point. And you know the sorry thing about it? You got to sit there and take it, don't you? You just got to sit there and take it as a league. James, he's one of the OGs back in the days, the Periscope and everything else. Give us thumbs up. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. Share it with your friends, invite them in. Whether you're on Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, free platform. Our YouTube channel, always free for Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. If you're on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, and same thing on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Always free, always has been, always will be. So invite some people in and let's have a great conversation. Let's get it going. Your thoughts, your questions, your comments, fire it away at me. We'll go back and forth. What did you see? What did you not see? My man up in Oklahoma jumping in. Congrats on a great season in the 806. Welcome to my hell. I think we understand all about what you're talking about. Alan, off that YouTube channel here on Raiderland Rewind, presented by Live Life Well Clinic of Lubbock. Offensive play calls were like they played last week and not off 26 days, set up for failure from the get-go. Again, I'd like to speak to some of the play calling, but I just don't know what it was. And then when you're so limited in you run 8 plays in the first quarter, you usually have a script of about 20 plays right at the get-go. And by the way, congratulations, Oregon. Great opening script drive. And I thought they did a great job with more getting the ball out of the pocket quick, leaking running backs out on linebackers or soft areas where safeties and corners were not out there, and then utilizing the tight ends like Sadiq. I thought their offensive game plan was as good as you can do against Texas Tech with the weapons they have. As for the Tech offensive game plan, we may never know. But again, there were just mystifying moments, mystifying calls, lining up, direct snap, wildcat, one of the biggest fourth downs you're ever going to call. And I still don't know what happened there on that snap to Williams. I don't know what that was. Was he running a zone read? Was he running off? I don't know. And he pitter-patters off to the left, and you don't get it. Meanwhile, on that drive, you had featured Cameron Dickey, and he was getting his feet under him, and he's your best down runner, and he ran for 1,000 yards, and he's your go-to guy in short yardage, and he was a decoy, I guess. Jeff gets in on the YouTube channel. The defense deserved better than what Leftwich, Morton, and Dickey gave them. Maybe some G5 school will take Leftwich off our hands, kind of like how we got rid of Kitley. I was waiting to see how long it would take, and there's been some I'm going to use the word internal frustration with Mac Leftwich this year at certain times, and I'm not necessarily talking about the coaching staff, and I need to be careful how I tread into those waters. But I would say there are some people around the program that would not be disappointed if he parlayed the success of a 12-win Texas Tech team and being an offensive coordinator up for the Broyles Award and turned that into a new gig. James, what a day to have the worst day ever as a quarterback. I know, painful to watch a guy who's given so much to Texas Tech and who will go down as one of the quarterbacks who helped elevate the program and take it to where it's never been and fought through injuries. Nobody can question the toughness. Nobody can question the toughness of Baron Morton. To which I say again, it made me wonder if he was 100% healthy enough to be out there, that Mitch Griffiths at some point may have been just a better, healthier choice. And then as I tweeted at 1:08 p.m. this afternoon, and I said I hated to say it, but you got to take Baron Morton out of this game and give yourself, if you want a chance to win, and you got to do something different. We do it with all other positions. We do it with anything else, but somehow some coaches are just loath to do it with their quarterback. And I understand there's a gap there, but today maybe there wasn't a gap between Griffiths and Morton. Maybe there wasn't. And you hate to do that to a guy, but a guy named Nick Saban did it in a national title game because he wanted to win. And I'm not saying that Joey didn't want to win. Hi there. Good to see you out there on the YouTube channel. You invite your friends in, share with them on social media. All of the platforms free, so subscribe to all of them. And get on that United Supermarkets chat line. Did everybody go get their black-eyed peas? Which one of you people did not have black-eyed peas either last night or today up to this point? Who can we blame it on that front? Which one of you people let us down? Jeff, first half points scored by team off the bye in the college football playoffs. Tech 0, Ohio State 0, Arizona State 3, Georgia 3, Boise State 7, Oregon 8. While still a small sample size in the 12-team era, it sure does jump out, doesn't it? And by the way, there was a massive sports betting syndicate that laid a huge bet about an hour before Tech and Oregon kicked off on a first-half under wager that was huge. Huh. But you can't blame everything, though, on the layoff, though, because while there was nothing to indicate Tech would get shut out in this game, everything was there this year in moments, in spots. And we talked about it, that when you play at a high level, and people would say, well, you're nitpicking on this team in the red zone, or you're nitpicking about, play calling, or you're nitpicking about this or that, or you're nitpicking here. That when you get to a certain level, all of those things matter and they come back in spades. That's why teams that achieve at a high level hold themselves to a high level of accountability. And I hate this because the dominating conversation right now, 15 minutes in, is what the offense didn't do. And I really hope we can celebrate what this defense did. Again, generationally great in college football. I don't know that you'll be able to duplicate what you did with the amalgamation of talent on the defensive side of the ball next year at Texas Tech. But the good news is nobody else can either, probably. That you just don't see a lot of defenses like that. And if they just had any bit of offensive support today, they'd be moving on. What more do we say about Bailey? Romello Height. My gosh, Lee Hunter. So fun to watch. I know. Jacob Rodriguez. Ben Roberts getting him a pick today. I thought he was going to will himself downfield to score after he intercepted that pass from Dante Moore. You could see by the body language, he thought, if I don't score, we might not score today. Michelle jumps in on the United Supermarket chat line. If only Jacob could have played quarterback. Chris, need to address quarterback, obviously, but incredibly offensive line again. I tweeted after the game, I said, obviously right now it's apparent that Cody Campbell is going to have to say, I will again. The offensive line was a massive upgrade over 2 years ago, or over last season. It was a massive upgrade. It was still not good enough. It was Big 12 championship level, but if that's all you want to do, you can get by maybe with that offensive line. It still was not a very good offensive line. I don't think it was a disciplined offensive line. I think you need to rethink maybe some of your offensive line schematics, coaching, and if they want to make changes in that area, I have no problem with Joey McGuire doing that. And I almost tweeted it out at the half. I said, here's the good news. No false starts today. And then, of course, we got in later in the game on the false start portion of the game, because why would we not have that? The offensive line has to upgrade. It must. Jeff, between us and LSU, Sorsby is looking at a blank check this afternoon. Holy crap. That yes, the Tech showing in the Orange Bowl. Still like saying that. Tech showing in the Orange Bowl. I mean, if you're going to suck in the Orange Bowl, right? Suck in the college football playoff, at least offensively. Yeah, Brendan Sorsby just became generationally wealthy today. And I was hearing things last week on 3 other evaluations that we are looking at between 2 and 3 and north of that $1 million, I think, for a single season for Sorsby right now. Rod gets in on Facebook. That's Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. That's free. Spike Dykes calling the plays today, and Morton was horrible. Certainly, my gosh. I mean, don't you like a fullback draw? I don't know if Tech couldn't or didn't, but they obviously didn't go downfield. Was it because they couldn't or that they didn't? And it was apparent early on, the routes, and maybe again, I saw a quarterback in Morton that I didn't feel like he was stepping into throws well. And he certainly didn't have a lot of time today. But you completed passes to 3 receivers, 5 players. You completed 5 passes to Williams out of the backfield, 1 pass to Dickey, and he had a couple of drops. He was targeted 3 times. But then after that, Terrence Carter Jr., who, by the way, telling David Collier or the assembled media, but I'm giving David Collier credit because I saw it on his Twitter feed, and I have not seen any of the post-game media scrum or anything, flying blind on this. To my knowledge, Joey McGuire did not appear on the Texas Tech radio network today, which kind of disappointed in that. But then again, the bowl games and stuff are different. He might not have had an opportunity. So before anybody launches and says, hey, was he ducking it or whatever, things are different the way media is handled and everything else. But yeah, you had 11 targets for Carter. You had 2 catches for Reggie Virgil, 3 targets, and Coy Aiken had 2 targets and 1 catch. 3 receivers catching balls today. You just can't win doing that. You can't beat anybody doing that. This game looked a lot like the Arizona State game. Certainly time of possession, it was playing out that way. Offensive play calling was very conservative. Also, Morton's just limited. Can't imagine us upgrading that position. They will. I'll say that for Cody Campbell. They will. Appreciate you guys jumping in on New Year's Day. It means a lot for me that you spend some time with us today on a day I know you're frustrated as a Tech fan. In the coming days, we'll do the autopsy on the season, not just this game, but the season. And hopefully Tech fans will be able to celebrate a great season, a fun season, that the memories going forward won't be just a brutal offensive day against Oregon and Miami, but it's going to be the mustaches. It's going to be Jacob Rodriguez in the defense. It's going to be, the ESPN game day for the BYU game and all those moments, the Big 12 championship game. That needs to be the takeaway as quickly as you can get past this, that you build on that and say, want to do that every year. How do we do that every year? How do you do that? Sam gets in on Twitter X, at Ryan Hyatt Media. Sorry, my nose is itchy. He has written a volume here, War and Peace. Sam says the bottom line is that most of the analysts picked Oregon in this game. If you had told me in the summer that Tech would make the playoffs, I would have been elated. This year was something to build on. As the ancient Romans used to say, Rome was not built in a day. Did they say that? I don't think they did. Let's team and build this season, move up as Oregon has done. Oregon was healthy and is a complete team, which we can also be in the future years. See, there you go, Sam, talking about what I'm talking about right there. Oregon, I think, is Dan Lanning got lucky today. Oregon, I did not see winning any more games in this college football playoff. By the way, are we underway yet? Help me out on some score updates and everything else on the Rose Bowl. I thought I had that all queued up, ready to go. And let's see, we're scoreless in the first. Indiana, Alabama scoreless, 107 left in the first. So another team with a bye, another team with a bye, not scoring, as somebody pointed out earlier. Ryan gets in on Facebook. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Hope you go there. We do a lot of cool stuff on Facebook. Morton struggled massively. Leftwich had nothing easy to get him going. We would say that, but again, the passes that he was calling or throwing were easy passes. Should have been. You know, I guess the biggest win of the day occurred about maybe 9 o'clock our time when the Legends from Lubbock, Buns over Texas. That's right, your Buns are up. Won the Orange Bowl Burger Challenge. With a burger you can get at Buns over Texas. I will very soon. Green chili cheeseburger, sound like a chipotle, some sort of chipotle dressing type deal, on it and everything. Caramelized onions. They won. West Texas is the best Texas. Joe gets in on Facebook. Again, subscribe, like, share, do all those things, please. I appreciate it. The offensive side of the ball looked lost. Yes. 100%. In the how many pages did we go today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages on the notes. Yeah, just lost. And I think I actually wrote that down at one point. It just nothing looked right. Nothing looked right. You get that ball back when you're down 3-0 at that point. You get that interception thrown. Finney jumps the route. Just nothing looking right. In the running back, see, Williams, great run, but even a lot of time, the rest of the day, the running backs, for guys that are really explosive, that usually hit the hole pretty hard, they pitter-pattered. Nobody likes a pitter-patter running back. I mean, Cameron Dickey is a guy who usually hits the hole with great speed and force and violence. And today, he looked around and didn't move right. Now, of course, the offensive line was garbage. And they weren't blocking anybody, and they were getting blown off the ball. And I don't know, but there were times where, how many times today did you see Tech running backs run into offensive linemen? Again, that's because the big fat offensive lineman's butt was right in their way. But still, you got to have some field view. You got to they looked lost. 100% lost. Emoji speak. Jeff, 70 on the O-line needs to be told to enter the portal tomorrow. Young guy Ponton there, really high on him, and you just got to hope that can come back. And, yeah. Offensive line has to upgrade. Derek wants to know why the black jerseys. I don't know how that was decided. Texas Tech was the home team, the higher seeded team. So they were going to wear dark jerseys. I really, really wanted Texas Tech to wear their traditional, cool-looking, old-school red jerseys, white pants, cool stripe, black helmet, the traditional Red Raider. I really wanted that. So I will absolutely blame the uniform. But imagine we could have had Tech in the red jerseys, white pants, Oregon in green, a little post-Christmas festivity. And instead, we really got a monochromatic uniform matchup today that was not appealing to watch it all with the eyeballs on the TV screen. Jump in on the United Supermarkets chat line. We'll go as long as you guys are having good conversation, and I hope having fun. I know it's not fun to see your team get beat 23-0. But again, trying to put everything in context perspective, you woke up today, everything was great until it wasn't. Sort of like the Cotton Bowl in 1994. You woke up today, brand new year, your team's in the college football playoff, everything in front of you, you feel good. Even that first drive, defense bowed up. I'm like, okay, Oregon's good. We know that. How many times did we hear most explosive offense in the history of offense? Why, there's only one other team that's close to them, and oh yeah, it's Texas Tech by one play. And I'm not giving a real and Tech's defense did really great, obviously, and proved again how great they are. I really want to tip my cap to Oregon because they're Oregon people are probably right now going, we can't win with this offense going forward. You can't do it. I thought they had a really good scheme and Moore executed it really well. It's just that Texas Tech's defense takes it so personally when you get into scoring position that they do awful things to you. And I thought Dan Lanning got really conservative at times, even going for it, got really conservative how they were going for it. Bob's on Facebook. That's a social media platform and not a drug by any stretch of the imagination. Running up the middle when it wasn't working, Morton obviously was rattled even when he had time. It happens. He was seeing ghosts, as they say. He didn't look right. I don't think he was healthy. I think we're going to come back and find out that maybe he was more compromised with the leg than we thought. I did not see a guy really striding into throws. And how many times did we see passes get batted down at the line of scrimmage? Of course, that's happened a lot this year. He's not the tallest dude out there, but still, I did not see a quarterback mechanically looking good today. Big, strong guys coming after you, by the way, will make your mechanics get bad, I have learned. Darren on Facebook, we saw this coming. Problem with red zone, being slow to start. I'm still proud of this team, even though it reinforces the Big 12 suck narrative. And as we said earlier in the show, Big 12 haters are going to rejoice. We walked out there and you gave them the stick of dynamite and said, blow it up. The Texas Tech, by the performance today offensively, everybody that hates the Big 12 and doesn't like the Big 12, paper tiger. Your offensive numbers were mythical because it came in the Big 12. The Big 12 wins over BYU doesn't count, doesn't matter. Well, BYU won there. It doesn't matter. See, you finally play a real team from, the upper Midwest of Oregon and the Big Ten, and you can't do anything. Fake Natalie Maines on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Hyatt, first-time listener, long-time texter. I have to apologize to all the Aggies I made fun of now for not getting a TD last week, just so you know, love you. Yeah. A&M fans like, well, we did score. Some very bad turnovers and bad throws by Morton. Yeah. I mean, the one in the end zone that kind of sealed it, that was just like, what are we doing? Aiken, no chance at the ball. And Morton just right to him. And it wasn't even like a 50-50 ball or fade route or something like it. No. The dude was seeing ghosts all day long. He wasn't right today. Dylan Sanchez, 843. Is that like a area code? When people put like numbers and stuff on the end of their handles on social media, I'm always curious, is like a number, area code, part of your address? Is that maybe you ran for 843 yards your senior year in high school? I don't know. Again, too cute, fourth down, and you're going to run Morton in motion play, just silly. Let's go back to the notes. You're still in the game. You still got a shot. It's the best drive of the day. Oregon 13-0, 11-20 in the third quarter. Dickey +8. First and 10, by the way, at the Texas Tech 8-yard line, where you get the ball back. How did you get the ball back? At the 8, at the 8. How did you do that? What was that? The flag on the? Is that a hold on the return or something? Do we something on that? Let's start on that. Dickey +8. Dickey +1. Dickey again incomplete, throwing to Dickey on 1st and 20. First and 10 at the 20. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Virgil goes way up in the air. Biggest catch of the day. 24 yards. Dickey again. Dickey again. What do we have here? Dickey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the first 7 plays in the drive. You're going to Carter, and now it's 1st and 10. Incomplete. A big overthrow on that one. 2nd and 10. Williams -1. 3rd and 11 now. You go to Carter. He stretches out. You're about a yard short. Boy, that was all Carter, too, on that one. So now you've got a yard to go. Best drive of the day. Cameron Dickey's been a big part of the drive, moving the chains for you. And you line up, as Dylan says, and you motion to the left, Baron Morton, who just kind of dances off to the left, direct snap Williams, kind of his zone read looking thing to Dickey, and then he staggers off to the left, and absolutely nothing happens, and there's no blocking. And that, you're kind of done right there. It felt like you were done. Defense bails you out. Ben Roberts gets the interception. And then you come back down with 9 seconds left in the third quarter, and there's the Finney interception in the end zone. And, we don't have to go through that. Biggest moment of the year. Biggest fourth down play of the year. And that's what you got for him. I agree 100% with Dylan. Too cute. Outthinking the room. Offensive coordinators today have far too many plays. They got too many fucking formations. They got too much. These young guys got too much at their fingertips, and head coaches allow them. Joey McGuire allows them to get too cute instead of reining it in sometimes. There you go. Old man yells at clouds. Got too much. Chris did not get it with Dickey. Spin move after spin move and not just running north and south. Yep. Was Morton's arm hurt? No more than it has been that we are aware of at any point in the season. He had the long sleeve on, but as far as we know, that arm, that elbow, shoulder, and everything else, good to go. But he sure looked like he couldn't move still. Jeff on YouTube, not here for the other Big 12 school fans talking crap today. Maybe your teams should have been better. Are they talking crap? Where are they talking crap today? James, I don't know if Jones 3 does any better. Jones 3, help me out. Jones 3 does any better. Put Mitch Griffiths in. Bob, Leftwich plays look like a Matt Wells or a Kitley playbook. Different from Kitley. Kitley last year a little more side to side because, again, Morton couldn't really throw it downfield because his arm was compromised last year. So that was different. The Matt Wells era was a bunch of odd little screens and different things. I still don't exactly know what the Leftwich playbook might be. Alan said, I had black-eyed peas and cabbage. Well, did you have it before the game? During the game? If you feel that, imagine how our hometown hero feels. Who is your hometown hero? It depends on where your hometown is. Not yet. We'll have black-eyed peas tonight at dinner. Got them simmering in there with some greens in there and whatnot, some sausage. Been sitting there simmering all day. Bunch of big old ham thing down in there, rendering down. Timbo on a YouTube channel. By the way, all of our platforms free. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, YouTube, Facebook, at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. Never charge. Morton looked like Tyler Shuck versus Oregon, but great season. Shuck, last pass, trying to come back, interception. By the way, how about that little matchup in history? It'll never be remembered as the Baker Mayfield, Patrick Mahomes duel, first one to 600 yards passing is going to win. But that little 38-31 game a couple of years ago, Jones Stadium, Bo Nix on one side, Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck could very well, we could be living in a world where Tyler Shuck is your NFL offensive rookie of the year. Nobody will ever remember that game with Bo Nix and Tyler Shuck at Jones Stadium, but we will. Jeff, everyone saw their fake punt except our special teams coach, apparently. I thought they might do something the previous punt, actually, because we already had the vibe. Was it the previous one or the one? Either way, like the one I think right before, said out loud, I said, this wouldn't be a bad time necessarily. I'll give them credit, though. Man, that was a really nicely schemed punt. I like the way they leaked the up back out of the formation. And if I were a special teams coach, I would absolutely look at that and by formation and how they ran it, put that in my arsenal because it didn't demand the punter to throw it very far. And with the, I almost said cornerback, but with your gunner, turning and burning in that situation, you vacated, a wide swath of land there. It was really, really well executed. But yeah, I mean, why that's in the area. It's Dan Lay. You got to watch that. They've been going for it. Why would they not go for it on a fake punt if they've been going for it before? Law Dog. Hey, sorry, Law don't go around here, Savvy. Sorry to pile on, but the tweet of the day was sweatshop money better than oil money. Hate Oregon so much. I didn't see that one. OC is suspect. Orange County, very suspect. Trace gets in on YouTube. Friday Night's Raiderland. Tech wide receivers lack the speed to get behind the Duck secondary. I wouldn't think so, but how the hell will we ever know with the routes and everything else that we saw today? I mean, if that's the case, I mean, that's just a huge give up that all of a sudden you can't run more than 7-8 yard routes. What was the number? It's going to be bad, but I just want to see on the advanced stats the breakdown on passing. So short passing, Texas Tech, 12 of 19. Now, you think short pass, you think, short pass. No, the short pass by statistical definition is less than 5 yards. So 19 times today when you threw, it was for less than 5 yards. I'm talking the intended target. 12 of 19. Good Lord, it's worse than I thought. Medium passing, 5 to 14 yards, 4 of 6, and then you went deep 6 times, 2 of 6 going deep. Their numbers were pretty similar with more of a preponderance on the middle, and they had some, middle routes and a couple of things that I thought they really did a nice job when they had time. But they were 13 of 16 on that short passing, a lot of that in the first half, and then 11 of 12 medium passing. That's pretty good. 15 of 14 for Dante Moore in Oregon, and then 3 of 5 deep. I knew that number was going to be bad. I didn't know it was going to be 12 of 19 bad. Average third down distance to go. How good was the Tech defense? Oregon was at 6.7 yards, just same as Texas Tech. Third down conversions, 21% for Oregon, 37.5 for Texas Tech. Third and long, over 9. Average distance for Oregon, 6.7 yards on third down. Third and long, 9+, 1 of 5 for Oregon. Third and short, 1 and 4. They were 2 of 9. And then your fourth downs, well, obviously they had to go for it a couple of times and went for it on fourth down. Golly, that's just a horrible number on that. Dylan, I didn't listen to the press conference, and I haven't had a chance to, but I'm willing to place a wager that McGuire said something like, we should have gotten more takeaways, which would just make me explode. I don't know. I mean, they always want 3. So you want 3. You didn't get that today, but you gave it away so many times on the other side, it wouldn't have mattered. You're going to have to be +7. Quarterbacks can't have an off day. Nope, not at this. You can, and you do all the time, but you can't at this level and win usually. That if you're in the college football playoffs like Texas Tech, if you're the 4th ranked team in the nation, no, you can't have an off. You can't have an off day as a quarterback and win. You lose. Ryan, offensive scheme was a huge problem. It was like Virgil and Douglas didn't make the trip. Douglas maybe twice today? Heard his name maybe twice? Maybe? And again, offensive scheme, when you run so few plays in the first half, and again, you've had a month to script out your first drive, that every play you're running theoretically for the first 20 plays is something you have drilled on for 3 weeks. Theoretically speaking. Steven on Twitter X, that's at Ryan Hyatt Media, as you get in on the United Supermarkets chat line, United Supermarkets and Market Street. They're open today, aren't they? I think they're open today. I told my wife I whiffed this morning. I was, getting ready for the game and everything else. And Yesterday, I was at United Supermarkets, and I got the little Smokies. Got me some good barbecue sauce. Got the little Smokies. Going to do that. Munch on that during the game and everything here at Raiderland Worldwide headquarters. Did I get them going this morning? No, I did not. So I had the leftover homemade pizza that we made yesterday that was really good. That's been one of our things over the years, that New Year's Eve we make homemade pizzas. Stephen, crazy that without the turnovers, which put the D in bad spots, we might have had a chance to win 6-3. Yeah. No, I mean, yes, it was the most frustrating feeling as the day went on. They're up 6-0, and you're going, it feels like you're down 21-0. But yet at the same time, as we said there in the third quarter, until the disastrous fourth down play call, that you think, my God, if they could just find a way to score 2 touchdowns. Maybe the offense can luck into one, the punt return. Maybe the defense score. Maybe that you're going, you can still win this 14-13. But yet at the same time, it felt like they were up 42-0. Randy Wade with a great question here. Why do we allow so many low IQ penalties? Does the discipline start with Joey, the position coach, or the OC? It happened all year long. Yes, it starts with Joey McGuire, 100%, and then it goes down to your offensive coordinator, and then it goes down in the chain of command to your offensive line coach. 100%. The pre-snap penalties by the offensive lineman, the false starts all year long, snap simulation, all of those things. All right? 100%, that's coaching. Either you're coaching it or you're allowing it to happen. I was once told by a really good coach. And that, what do? Do you run them till they puke? I think that Bob Knight always had the best one on that, and you bench their ass. Ass meets bench, ass sends signal to brain. Don't like bench. Don't do stupid things. Brain engages. Don't do stupid things. Ass off bench, back into the game. Bench, high motivator. And I think you have to be able to. How many times in a basketball game do you see coaches? I know basketball, football, totally different things, but just pull a guy out that screws up. Well, I don't want to, hurt an offensive lineman's feeling or something. Yank his ass off the field. Run it, make him run to the sideline in front of 70,000 people going, yeah, you're the idiot who jumped offside. Put the backup in for a play and then put him back out there. Make him go back out there again, and everybody know, hey, you're the one who screwed up. I don't think we see enough of that in football. And I don't know why we don't, because in basketball, particularly college basketball, you see a guy make a couple of turnovers or whatever, coach will yank his butt out of the game and put somebody else in. I don't care if the guy behind him, if you can't handle a backup offensive lineman for a play, and maybe you can't, given what we saw this year. But I 100% agree with what you're saying, and it starts with the head coach. Everything that is discipline related is head coach related, good, bad, or otherwise, because that is a top-down, how we do anything is how we do everything. That is a top-down 100% deal. That's all discipline is. Every day. If it doesn't translate, then get somebody it'll translate to. Something high school, something ball coach. Receivers do not put their foot in the ground on routes. Only Carter runs good routes and cuts to open spaces. So what we're talking about is the technicality of route running. Some guys running loose routes. Some guys running precise routes. I think Carter's a good runner. I think Aiken at times can be a pretty good route runner. As far as the looseness of some of the routes and everything else, I'm seeing more and more of that in high school and college football because of the propensity to allow guys to do the whole Travis Kelce thing, which is find the soft spots, particularly if you're seeing zones, if we're seeing too high, and we're trying to settle into areas that we're not so much predicated anymore on those hard cut separation on the man-to-man coverage. So you see the looser routes. Now, what that affects, for me, if you don't run the route at the same time every time, if all of a sudden now I'm trying to do a timing route with you, and you've been settling into soft spots and zones, and you get a little loose on that route, I think it makes it much more difficult for the quarterback. But that's where we get into this idea of we're creating separation with our route running, or we're finding soft spots in zones. And it depends what route we've called, where we are in that route tree, and what we're looking at defensively. Met Patch. I was not sold on Morton in the offseason, but we won a Big 12 championship. Sign Sorsby, upgrade the offensive line. Cody Campbell going to have to say, I will again. Sorsby got $3 to $5 million. You'll probably get him in here, but he's just sitting there looking at Tech, looking at LSU, looking at Tech, looking at LSU. Hey, boys. Hold on a second. There we go. You guys are good. We're going to go as long as you guys are good on the comments on the United Supermarkets chat line. Take advantage of the time we have. Tasty. You can't sugarcoat it. If you want to go beyond making the college football playoffs or winning the Big 12, you're going to have to elevate certain areas of the team. I think you need some more speed in the receiving core. All right. You just couldn't blow the top off the defense this year. You just really couldn't. Good receivers, but I'd really like to see somebody that can blow the top off if you can find that player. Always good to have, by the way. Offensive line has to be better, and the quarterback play has to be better. 1,000-yard rusher. I thought the run game was pretty good. That's what was so staggering about how they look today. I thought the run game, the running backs, I thought were really good. I thought the run blocking at times was garbage. Scott, why not pull the starter in football like in baseball? Don't know. My coaches certainly had no problem pulling me out of a game as quarterback. Boy, they really, it's almost like they looked forward to it. I've long been a proponent of if a quarterback is struggling, pull him out for a series. But he's our leader, and we have to show the utmost faith and confidence in him. And that's a bunch of garbage. If a guy's not getting it done, the whole team needs to know even he's not untouchable. But there are a lot of times, I think, with a quarterback, particularly in college, bring him over to the sidelines, let him watch a series. Let him catch his breath. Let him sit on the headset during the game, hear, listen, see, and then maybe go back in. But today, in particular, I still don't think Morton was healthy. Whether he was healthy or not, there couldn't have been that much gap between him and Griffiths. There could have been him and Jones 3 there today with what we were seeing. And if you put the other guy in and he sucks, take him out, put him back in. Your season's on the line, Coach. Jeff, best football season in Tech history. Sad to end this way. Let's be like IU and be 13-0 and number one this time of year. That's what I was telling my wife before I came in here into the Hat Creek Interior Studios today. Live from the Hat Creek Interior Studios, hatcreek.us. 10101 South Slide Road, custom furniture and accessories. They deliver anywhere in the known U.S. and probably departs on. So, yeah, this is where if you're Texas Tech, you got to take that step back after, the pain of getting beat and, how it happened today and go, okay, can you beat Indiana? Can you back it up next year? Don't allow the Big 12 haters and the Tech haters to be the ones to say, see, fluke, just went out and bought a defense. You'll never do that again. Prove you can replicate this because you can. You can replicate it. Chris on our Facebook page, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. You finally got the Big 12 championship monkey off your back. Still disappointed in today, though. You can both ideas can be true. You can celebrate a great season that raised the bar. You can also at the same time be disappointed in today and go, what do you have to do as a program? And I'm sure Joey McGuire's already doing this on the way to the hotel and getting all your crap and getting ready to come home today to not have a day like today again. You better. Michelle, congrats to Buns over Texas. Damn right. Congrats to them. Burger champions of the known universe out there in Miami. I'm going to have to go by and have the burger that they did especially for the thing. I've got it linked on my Facebook page. You can see the announcement, and it's Mark Hutchins, the owner there in Lubbock. He details the burger that they made. Sounds great. Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. David Collier reporting Terrence Carter Jr. coming back. That is big. Things change sometimes. We're going to go with it for right now and say that's a good thing. Rock, something. Couldn't help but laugh when Sampson and Jados blocked each other on the fourth down sack late in the game. I mean, if there was going to be a moment that in 3 seconds encapsulated the whole day offensively, that was pretty much it. And they didn't even block each other very well. Trace, by the way, hardcore competitor. Gutty guy, Trace. And he can vouch. My coaches had no problem taking me out of games. At least Tech was wearing uniforms and not costumes like Oregon. Yeah, I just want to see the red, man. I want to see the more traditional red. It's a good uniform. Nothing wrong with the uniform. And of all the things that Oregon could have worn, we got lucky. We dodged a uniform bullet on that one. It could have been 10 times worse. Seve. Was Joey's loyalty to Morton a factor in keeping him in the game too long? I assume so. Whether it's loyalty, the idea that, well, we can't possibly win with a backup, there's whatever. The belief that Morton's been your guy this year, and when he's been out there and finished games, well, you guys know the stat and you guys know what it looks like. That you keep thinking, we're this close. Your offensive coordinator come up to you, coach, we're this close. We're going to pop some of these things. We're about ready. All right, well, go do it. That you just sit there and go on the biggest stage, can I really pull a guy out of the game? Well, yeah, coach, if you want him to play another game, if you loved Baron Morton so much that if you wanted him to have a chance to start another game, you probably needed to make a move today. Would it have mattered? Would it have been worse? Would it have been better? I don't know. Maybe not. There's a reason why he's been the starting quarterback. I get it. I understand that. So is it loyalty? Is it as a coach that you just can't get your mind to that place in that moment? I don't know. It's a very psychological element to it, isn't it? Michelle, why did Oregon wear the white and silver Mahomes jerseys, not green at all? Odd. Yeah, and they're not even, they're Nike. They're not even Adidas, man. Chris, how many Tech defenders will we be playing on Sunday next year? 7 or 8, probably right off the bat. You'll have that defensive front's going to have 4 guys. My mom keeps asking me, my sainted mother, where do you think Jacob Rodriguez is going to go? I'm like, I don't know. Well, has he said where he wants to play? It doesn't work that way in the NFL. That would be cool if it did. Like you recruited instead of a draft. You had to, if the NFL teams had to recruit players like college. How would that would be fascinating, would it not? With the salary cap that they have, but if like it was a free agency instead of a college player draft, first-year player draft, that the NFL had to recruit. That would be really interesting. Back on the United Supermarkets chat line today. Chris, game plan really conservative. Try some play action, roll Morton out of the pocket. That we didn't see that tells me again, and I didn't see him step up and throw the ball really well today. I still wonder if that leg was not good, that leg was compromised to the point they feel like they couldn't do that. They didn't feel like they could block it. I don't know. And I'm talking specifically on the rollout. Now, on the play action, like, and I've been frustrated because Morton's a really good play action quarterback. And at times it's there, and then all of a sudden it disappears, and I don't know. Was it really conservative? Yeah. Was it that way by design? Were you forced into that? Did Oregon, as the day went on, was their defense just so good that you felt like you couldn't do downfield and you couldn't block long enough. And I don't know. Again, I have not heard any of the post-game press conferences or anything this afternoon. So flying blind on that. I'll be interested to see what we hear on some of it. We're coming up on just shy of an hour here on Raiderland Rewind, brought to you by Live Life Well Clinic in Lubbock. Dr. John Skelton, fantastic Red Raider, his own self. They want you to live your best life possible in 2026 and beyond. It's not like at the end of 2026 they go, that's it. We got you right for a year. No. Go to their website. Go to their Facebook page today. Tell them thank you for being the presenting sponsor of Raiderland Rewind all year long. They're at Live Life Well Clinic in Lubbock. And then next week, when everybody gets going, hey, they can do like a teledoc type thing and do an initial assessment that way, or just book an appointment, go in and get yourself right. As I told you at the beginning, we're gonna be focusing on two things this year with our friends there at Live Life Well Clinic for you guys out there and ladies. We're gonna be looking at gut health. All right, a lot of problems that we have, particularly you guys that get into your late 30s, 40s, into your 50s. Got a bad gut, got a bad belly. For different reasons. We're going to look at that. And then diabetes, prevention and reversal can be done. They can help you do it at Live Life Well Clinic. All right. As long as the comments are coming in and we're having a good time, we're going to keep on talking. Robert Christopher on Facebook. It makes no sense to say this because it makes no sense. But when Tech had days like this, it seems to occur more frequently in games played on real grass. I just don't understand it because the other team is also playing on that surface. Both teams are turf teams. Both teams work out on grass. You don't play a lot of games on grass now. Maybe that's why it stands out a little bit more. I don't know. But I've seen Tech have some really bad games on turf too, so I ain't going to put it on the surface. Indiana is now up 3-0 on the Crimson Tide. And check that. It's now 10-0 Indiana. 7-11 left in the second. Go Hoosiers. My man Wes Reynolds out there enjoying it. Let's make it happen. I just like the number 8. Oh, we were talking about people who have numbers in their handles and names on social media. Well, you got 3 of them there. Jan, Robert Christopher, maybe they play in grass more than Tech does. Big Ten, for the most part now, where they're playing, that's a turf league for the most part around there. I mean, everywhere is a turf league now. And I don't think it had anything to do with the grass today. I mean, your defense looked really good on the grass, right? Anyone hit the portal on the way out of the stadium? No, but for the portal not being opened up yet, there sure are a ton of names in it, and it's going to be very interesting to see what Texas Tech does here. What does that start next week or whatever? I don't know. You're going to be active in it. Ernest Hub. And again, numbers, 8113. Was that like his address? The Texas Troubadour, his own self. Thanks. Thanks a lot. The fact that McGuire didn't pull Morton from this game tells me that their relationship was more important than being competitive in that game, and that is unfortunate. I'm not willing to go there completely. Now, I do think, obviously, they have a great relationship. I think, if you're Joey McGuire, you have so much respect for a guy who's fought so hard, and he's seen what Morton's had to do to get on the field. The rehab he's gone through, the pain he's played, and he's seen that. He understands that. It's hard as a human being to look at that and go, all right, we're gonna bench it. Easy for me at 1:08 this afternoon to put that on Twitter. I don't have to look the dude in the face. I get it. I understand it. But yeah, I think it's different when it's obviously different. The question should be, why is it different when it's a quarterback versus anybody else? Why is it different in football that you can love your starting pitcher who's gotten you there all year long, but in the 5th inning of the biggest game of the year, that if he doesn't have it, you go to the bullpen. And nobody goes, how dare they take him out? Ugh, that's that's even bigger than what happened today. That's a broader philosophical football discussion for me. Robert Davies, Oregon was a physical match for Tech. Yeah, anybody you play is going to be a physical match in the college football playoffs, other than the G5 teams, who are not a physical match, would not be a physical match for you. So, yeah, anybody you'd played, they were going to match up physically with Texas Tech. Are we not giving Oregon's defense enough credit? Are we putting all this on Leftwich and Morton and the offensive line and the running backs who look drunk and play calling? Are we so, hyper focused on what Texas Tech does here today that I'm not giving Oregon's defense enough credit? Because they've been a good defense, but not a great, generationally great defense this year. I mean, teams have scored on them. I mean, literally, like teams have scored on them. I don't care about the rest of the Big 12 or the narrative so long as we win and get back next year. Signed, Sorsby. Send in the money. Sam, after that game, I was thinking more about whiskey than black-eyed peas. Timbo had black-eyed peas at halftime. Didn't help. Do we finish in the top 10? Great question. So, like, who would move past you? So the teams that are going to be alive, the 4 teams that are going to be alive are going to move past you. Nobody else behind you, going to jump up. So now you're talking about some of the teams like Ohio State that lost. So you're going to see them all slide down just a little bit, right? Miami's going to move past you. I don't know. Tech will finish like 9th. I'm not even looking at it. I don't know. 9th. Hope you finish top 10. Be nice, but at a certain point, it's like in the NFL playoffs, and then going, okay, what was the power ranking? What was our power ranking at the end of the NFL playoff? No, well, we got beat in the divisional round, but what was our power ranking? Nobody really gonna care what the rankings are, AP or otherwise, anymore now that we have this playoff. That number is a old dude number that we pay attention to. And I say we old dudes, but nobody else does anymore. Hoosiers just stuffed the Tide on 3. Joseph, as much as I want to say Tech sucks, I know I'll be drinking the red and black Kool-Aid come August. Well, they don't suck. They're one of the best teams in the country. They maybe have the best defense in the country. They don't suck. The offense sucked today. That sucked. But you guys saw the greatest year in the history of Tech football. I want you to walk around and feel good. All right? I want you to appreciate it. I want you to write plays and sing songs and dance around the campfire and talk about 2025 to your grandchildren. And hopefully there'll be other years that you can talk about. Hopefully that'll take place. Don't know. Supper ready. 20 minutes. We're getting there. Cliff benched with penalties. Cliff got benched at SMU one night. Brought in BJ Simmons. I think it was BJ. Yeah. Gary, harder to take. Virginia, late 3 to tie in the Natty, or this outcome from poor offensive performance. Virginia late 3 in the national championship game. Are you kidding? That's one of the all-time gut punches. That's one of the all-time, holy crap, you're this close away, and then all of a sudden, what happened? In mere seconds, it's over? No. Always will be the Virginia gut punch. And a damn Virginia team that just wasn't really that freaking good. Sorry. Indiana up 10-0 now. I'm catching up on some comments. I realize now how far behind I am. New play in Miami would put this offense to sleep. Unbelievable. We couldn't scheme any wideouts open all day like they had 12 players. A lot of that may have been the pressure. The offense struggled all season. They didn't struggle all season. They had their moments. They didn't struggle all season. And that's what's so hard about this offense. Stats, do you believe the stats? Do you believe the numbers? Do you believe what they put up? Everything else, what do you do? Anybody got another $25 million? Oh, yeah. Held them under 2 yards to carry, 70 yards rushing. The entire offensive unit owes the defense a massive apology. Might be a little sauce, but I'm happy for this season. Also, my wife got me tickets to the basketball game for my birthday on Saturday. Oklahoma State, Lady Raiders playing as well, doubleheader out there. By the way, the Lady Raiders today announced the signing midseason transfer, international player, 7 feet tall, one of the tallest players ever to play basketball at the collegiate level in the United States. It's going to get lost in the shuffle today. We'll have more on it tomorrow on our evening broadcast, the daily broadcast at 6:30 tomorrow. But this could be like a deal that gets Tech in the top 4 in the Big 12. Cody's tweeted that he's going to double down next year. Good for him. He has to say, I will again. So it's $50 million now. That's what frustrates me the most, says Dylan. Season on the line. Honestly, feel like his team, they didn't do whatever it took to try and win. The defense did. Shield is going to want offense to be better. Yeah, he may hit Mac on the way to the airport a couple of times. Portal opens tomorrow. Level says it will be some big names on campus on Saturday. Good. Take them to a basketball game. More than respectable. Texas would have won the Natty if they got in worst college football playoffs in a while. No, I don't think so. What's for supper? We're having the black-eyed peas, collard greens. It's this big old thing with ham and all sorts of cool stuff in it. Really good. If Hammond had been available, would Joey have put him in? We'll never know. I think he probably would have. If Hammond had been available, would Baron Morton have been playing at the end of the year? With the injury or anything else? You know? We'll never know. And now you just go, okay, will Hammond play next year for Texas Tech? I guess we've got $3 billion. I guess 50 to 100 million is a small donation, but just for your legacy. Ralph getting in on Facebook. First Tech shutout since 2021, or Tech being shut out since 2021. Are you even watching this screen? No, I am not. I'm trying to catch up. We got a shit ton of comments, Ralph. It's a very popular show. And then Robert, I'm enjoying a cold glass of Shiner poured into my Big 12 championship pint glass. That's how you do it. All right, there you go. I think I got caught up on all the comments right there. Notice the Ducks used the D substitution. Good pickup on that. And they did it. By the way, they did it later in the game to burn time, and it was beautiful. You saw 3 fat guys running slowly off the field, arms outstretched like they were going to take flight. Fly, Ducks, fly. The Mighty Ducks. And it was a very good use of clock management right there by Oregon. Yeah, very smart. Can't remember exactly which. I mean, that was like with 6 minutes to go. I mean, which felt like there were 2 minutes to go and everything else. All right, get your questions, comments in on the United Supermarkets chat line. Raiderland Rewind. If you guys want to do something for us today, sign up for all of our platforms. They're all free. Great way to start the year. Right now, it's Raiderland on YouTube. Hit like, hit subscribe, and invite your friends in on Facebook. Right now, it's Raiderland. Don't cost nothing. We do a lot of cool stuff on Facebook as well, different even than what we do on the website at theraiderland.com. And then, of course, Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media. We will be with you back in the morning, regular order, back tomorrow morning, So we'll have our morning column. By the way, on Friday, we find out the most Texan thing you have done this week, which, by the way, this week it could be the most Texan thing you've done in 2026. So that'll be going on. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow night with the daily broadcast every day, 6:30 from the Hat Creek Interiors studios. And if you hadn't gone to their website, hatcreek.us, check it out. It's really, really impressive, the stuff they've got there. Man, they've got some desk. So I have this thing about desk. And I love my desk. My desk belonged to my grandfather. He literally brought it home from World War II. All right. I'll tell the story about the desk sometime. But I love like big Western ranch style desk, with the inlay and give me some leather on that, that I would have to build a new wing to the Hatton Creek Interior Studio to bring in the kind of desk that they have there that I want. Ralph, the Lady Raiders about to be top tier with no money. They got a little bit money. They could always use a little bit more. Everybody could always use a little bit more. But let's just cool the engines a little bit on that and say, let's get into the NCAA tournament first. Let's go from there. Get this team into the NCAA tournament this year. Get the rebuild started on that. Finish in the top half, certainly of the Big 12. Get back in the NCAA tournament. Build and go from there. But this team is different. This Lady Raider team is different. They are built to win. They've beaten, 5 power conference teams. They've done some stuff on the road, obviously, taking down Baylor and Waco. This isn't a paper tiger that just put together a weak non-conference schedule. Got a bunch of cheap wins. Are they ready to contend for a Big 12 title? I'm not ready to say that yet. Would love to see it happen, obviously, if you know my history with the program and everything else with Lady Raider basketball. So, we'll see what happens from here. It'll be fun. All right. It's time for me to go eat some black-eyed peas. We'll get this posted on the website. TheRaiderland.com is where we archive everything. So if you ever miss anything, any of our shows or anything else, you can go to TheRaiderland.com. You can catch up on it. Now, if everybody will just share this and invite your friends in and, do all that cool stuff tonight, that would be a fantastic way to start the year. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you guys spend the time you do with us here in Raiderland. Our great sponsors like United Supermarkets, Hat Creek Interiors, Live Life Well Clinic. All of our great sponsors. You see them every day on the site and on the show. So we're fired up about 2026. Some new ones coming in as well. And hey, if you ever wanted to advertise with us in Raiderland, just let me know. Hit me on the website, hit me on Facebook, hit me on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Michelle, right back to you. Happy New Year. Here's to the best. It was an incredible 2025. Even with the loss, hey, still a great way to start the new year, right? Your football team was playing in the college football playoffs in the Orange Bowl. That's pretty freaking awesome. And Happy New Year to you, Merry Cervantes, Lauterbach. All right, we better shut it down or my wife's going to get mad. We don't want that on New Year's Day, right? We'll see you guys tonight on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. We'll post this and you guys share it at TheRaiderland.com. Oh, wait. Do I got to hit this button too? How many buttons do we have to hit?